Hello and welcome to a new video review, this time about the Vector Optics Continental Hunting Series 2-12x50. Vector Optics is a Chinese manufacturer of rifle scopes and other shooting equipment. The company has a lot of experience producing rifle scopes because when the company was founded in 2007, they produced rifle scopes for other companies as an OEM producer, but in the recent years they started to focus on their own brand, and so they introduced the Continental series of rifle scopes. In this series there are two types, hunting series and also tactical series. This particular scope is a hunting rifle scope with the magnification from 2 to 12 and the 50mm objective lens. This magnification is one of the most universal magnifications you can use for hunting, because on the smallest magnification you can use the scope on very short ranges, and on the 12 times magnification also on pretty long ranges. The complete scope is made out of metal with the only rubberized part on the ocular. The ocular has a really nice feel, is very smooth and can be very quickly adjusted. The magnification ring can be adjusted from the smallest to the biggest magnification in 180-degree turn. Also, the magnification ring feels very smooth. The main tube diameter is 30mm, and as you can see, we have the scope already mounted with the included 30mm Picatinny rings, which is a really nice addition that Vector Optics supplies the rings with the scope, so you don't need to purchase any other rings. Then the turrets are capped and the illumination control is on the left side of the scope. The objective has an outer diameter of 57mm, which is important if you want to use a clip-on device, thermal or night vision. Then the entire scope is nitrogen purged, which means you can use it in very cold environment, and the internals will not start to fog because of condensation. The scope is also waterproof up to 1 meter of depth of water. It is also shockproof up to 338 Lapua Magnum. The length of the scope is 335mm, which is a bit shorter than similar scopes from other manufacturers. The scope has 605 grams, which is more on the lighter side against the competition. And as I mentioned, the scope is made in China and it has a 15 years warranty. The reticle is positioned in the second focal plane, which means it has the same dimensions at all magnifications, so it does not change when you go from the smallest to the biggest magnification. The reticle, it's only one type available for this particular scope, which is a cross with a dot in the middle and two small lines under the middle of the reticle. The dot can be illuminated with 6 intensity settings. Between each intensity setting is an off position, and the illumination is only useful for lower light conditions, so the illumination is not daytime bright. The turrets are capped, and under these caps are adjustable turrets, also made completely out of metal. Now the clicks are in quarter MOA, and in one whole revolution you get exactly 15 MOA of travel. The scope features 140 MOA of travel, both windage and elevation. And both turrets, windage and elevation, are multi-turn turrets, which means you can make multiple turns with each turret. Now for zeroing, when you're on the range, you just make your adjustment, lift the turret, go back to 0 and push the turret back down. Like this you're already zeroed and ready to go. Now for the windage turret. Also the windage turret is a multi-turn turret, and you get marks up to 7 MOA into both directions. Also this turret is very easy to adjust, so you make your adjustment on the range, lift the turret, go back to 0 and push down. There is also some additional turret in the package on elevation turret, and this turret is designed for quick adjustment of the elevation if you have targets at more distances and you have to quickly engage the targets. So you can easily swap this turret with this in a matter of seconds. You just have to unscrew this middle part, take this turret down, take the middle part or the screw outside, give it into this turret, and you screw this turret down. So now you can use this BDC or quick adjustable turret, let's say, for hunting or also target shooting. So when you have zeroed and then you shoot to the 300 or 400 or whatever distance, you just quickly make your adjustment and the scope is already there where the impact should be. Now, what I don't like on this turret is, because it's a multi-turn turret, you can very easily make an error. So let's say your zero is like this, and you take the rifle out of the bag for hunting and you accidentally hit the turret. Now you don't know in which direction the turret has to go back to 0 because this turret has no zero stop. Because of this you can make an error of the entire revolution of this turret. The second thing what I don't like on this turret is because you have no marks on the main frame of the scope where the zero is. Just a simple dot or a line would be enough. And lastly, for this turret, what I don't really like is, maybe you can see it, it's this wobbling. Now the optical performance. I have to say I'm very impressed with the scope for approximately 510 euros, because the image or the optical performance is very, very good. The image is sharp from edge to edge, and also the colors are very accurate. What is especially good on this scope, or actually all Continental rifle scopes, the tactical line included, is the extremely big field of view. The field of view can be easily compared to some of the much more expensive rifle scopes, because on the smallest magnification you have a field of view of 21 meters at 100 meters, and on the 12 times magnification the field of view is 3.5 meters at 100 meters. As I mentioned before, this scope has a 50mm objective lens, which makes it also suitable for a little bit lower light conditions, and also the light transmission rate through the entire scope is more than 90%. The eye relief is 10 centimeters, and the eye box is very forgiving. Now, what do you get in the box? A user's manual, lens protection, a sunshade, which is a bit unusual for a hunting scope, a cleaning cloth, then the Picatinny mounting rings, a warranty card for registering of your product, zeroing key, some advertising material, and this additional elevation turret. And now for a short summary. What do I like about this scope? First of all, the overall build quality. The scope is very well made, well machined, and made completely out of metal. The optical performance is also very good. You get crisp image, accurate colors, and a really big field of view. As I said before, it can be compared to some of the much more expensive rifle scopes on the market. The scope is lightweight, it is not too long, and you get mounting rings included, which really not many producers include with their scope. Then the additional turret is also a really nice feature, because every user can choose if he uses the quick adjustment turret or the capped turrets. And lastly, the lens protection is also a nice addition, but I would prefer flip-up covers. And where do I see some room for improvement? First of all, on the elevation turret, because there is this wobbling. I hope you can see it here, and it is even more noticeable when the turret is open. This does not affect any functionality of the scope, and is mostly more of aesthetics, but I think this is an easy fix for vector optics. What I also want to mention is that this turret does not feature a zero stop. As I said before, you can make an error of an entire revolution if you accidentally adjust the turret, you don't know which direction you have to come back. Then, when using this turret, you don't have any point or line on the main tube for adjusting, so you don't see exactly where the turret should be. Then the magnification ring. These edges are pretty sharp. They are great for grip, especially if you wear gloves, but without wearing gloves, I think they are a bit too sharp. And lastly, as I said before, instead of bikini covers, I would prefer flip-up covers. Okay, this was a short video review of the Victor Optics Continental hunting series 2-12x50. If you have any additional questions, click the link below, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.